This hike is from the entrance of the Folsom State Recreation Area at Granite Bay up to Anderson Island along the Pioneer Express Trail. It's about a 13-mile round trip. One of the first places you pass is this granite boulder field. Horses also use this trail, so you might encounter several around this blind corner. Be cautious. There are lots of trails through the Folsom State Park. The Pioneer Express Trail is the only one with mile markers. If you haven't seen a milepost for a while on your hike, you may be off the Pioneer Express Trail. Right after mile marker 37, you will come to the Granite Bay Horse Assembly area. There is water and pit toilets. The Pioneer Express Trail links up with the American River Bike Path. From Granite Bay to Auburn, it is a horse and hiker trail. No bikes allowed, but you will see some. I always remind them this is not a bike trail. A few sections of the trail adjoin residential property. Mostly it is a rugged trail with steep slopes. You will cross the old county road that links Twin Rocks Road with the Park Road. Mountain bikes should be staying to the trails close to the lake. The Pioneer Express Trail was constructed to always be above the high water mark of Folsom Lake. In the 1950s and 60s, it was primarily a horse trail, and the equestrian groups have done trail maintenance to reduce erosion on some of the steeper slopes. In all my hikes, about the most fearsome animal I've encountered, other than humans, is a turkey. Very rarely I'll see a rattlesnake, but they quickly slither off into the bush. The biggest danger on the trails is the overgrowth of poison oak. You can take this trail straight into Beaks Bite parking lot, which also has restrooms. But this trail that skirts along the Folsom Lake is not part of the Pioneer Express Trail. To get back on the trail, just follow the trail up the hill and to the left. You will come to an intersection where it joins the Pioneer Express Trail close to the Los Logos Trail. Stay to the right after Los Logos to begin your ascent. By mile 39, the Pioneer Express Trail is no longer on flat land. You are hiking on the side of a hill above Folsom Lake. There will be many nice vista points. Sometimes the trail moves a good distance away from the lake. It is predominantly south-facing, and while there can be some shade, it can also get very warm, even in winter. Some of the troughs made by the horses and hikers can be deep and single-track. Fortunately, the rocks and narrow trail keep most of the mountain bikers off this part of the trail. Occasionally you will encounter a downed tree that you will have to navigate over. The Parks Department is pretty good at keeping the trail clear. Every mile or so you will come to a dip in the trail that affords easy access down to the lake. Because the trail is so narrow, I always try to step aside for oncoming traffic, but sometimes that is impossible because of either groves of poison oak or a steep cliff. Parts of the trail are just darn rugged. You will certainly get a workout. There is also a variety of different plants, shrubs, trees, insects, and geology to inspect. There's also a lot of history, but I will save that for another video when Folsom Lake is lower and I can hike along the water's edge. On the day I took this video, Folsom Lake water level was at 448 feet in elevation. It usually reaches its highest capacity at the end of May or beginning of June. When the water drops to an elevation of approximately 400 foot, there are many more historic sites to see and reach. There are many different trails that fork off the main trail. When in doubt, go straight and look for the mile markers. You can't really get lost, but you may waste some time if you get on an alternate trail. My goal on this hike was to hit the 42-mile marker. I went a little further north to the intersection with Sterling Point Trail. I then took a side trail down to the water's edge. Here is Anderson Island, so named because when the lake is full, this little hill is surrounded by lake water. Lately, I've been hiking in these keens called Riverport, which is just the sandal with an interior fabric enclosure to keep out the rocks and dirt. I double sock and wear these Ultra gaiters to repel the weed burrs and reduce the dust and dirt. Just a short distance from the end of the trail is the stone aqueduct of the North Fork Ditch. At this lake level, the top of the aqueduct was just sitting below the water surface. A pretty cool sight. After a snack, time to head back. The round trip was approximately 5 hours for me.